Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to Inside the Block, sponsored by Room Right Group Solutions. I am your host today. My name is Lon Hudman, and I am joined by a number of great panelists, and we have an exciting topic to talk about today. And I am joined by a few of my colleagues at Room Right. First of all, I'm joined by the Director of Partnerships, Leandro Carvalho. And Leandro, before I get to the introductions of the other participants, I know that there's some special deals going on with Room right now, and particularly in reference to some cities that are hosting some FIFA soccer, World Cup soccer games. And would you tell us a little bit about some of those special deals we have going on right now before we continue with the introductions?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Lon. Yeah, pleasure to be here. We do have some very good discounted price for hotels, and not only for rooms, but also for tickets for some of those games. So we got rooms, special room blocks in New York City, Dallas, Atlanta, Seattle, and some other cities as well. And you can find all those big deals, in our website, roomright.io. Go for special deals, and you're going to see all the offers and those discounted price. So it's a very unique opportunity to get really good rates, not only for rooms, but also for tickets at a very discounted price. Check it out. Don't lose this opportunity. Don't waste time and go there and see the best rates available right now. Some of those rooms are sold out already, and you'll find availability only at roomright.io. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. Another colleague that just joined us, Tani Goralnik. Tani, welcome to Inside the Block. And we're going to be, like I said, talking about, I think, a very relevant topic today. And we're joined by our special guest panelist today, Caroline Brandon. And Caroline, she is the Director of Sales and Marketing at the Sea Palms Resort in St. Simons, Georgia. And Caroline, welcome to Inside the Block. And
thank you.
I would like to give you the opportunity to tell us more about your property, about Sea Palms Resort, what you got going on, what makes that property special and unique, and someplace that we all should visit.
Sure. So I'm Caroline Brandon. I'm so happy to be here. I'm the Director of Sales at Sea Palms. As mentioned, I've been here for 7.5 years. We are located in coastal Georgia. We're a small island. It's about 7 miles wide off of our mainland, which is Brunswick, Georgia. So you have to take the causeway over the beautiful water to get to us. Our property, we have an 18-hole golf course on site. We have 123 total hotel rooms. That also includes some suites. And every single one of our rooms either has a view of the coastal marshes, the golf course, or the lagoon area. We have about 10,000 square feet of meeting space. We have an on-site restaurant, which is a bar, and we serve lunch and dinner. And then we also have our beautiful, we have about 3 outdoor wedding venue spaces that equal about 20,000 square feet of additional event space. So we specialize in weddings and events, and we are a golf destination, premier golf destination, and easy to get to. So all of our rooms were fully renovated in May of 2024. So we're fully brand new, fully open, and yeah, we would love for anyone to come check us out, come for a site visit, or book your group with us.
Wow. Well, you had me at 18-hole golf course. You had me right there.
Yeah.
I am an avid golfer. I would love to come and visit and play that course. So that's great. Thanks. And again, welcome to Inside the Block. And I keep talking about our topic today, and I believe it is very relevant. And we're going to be talking about technology and how technology is being used in the hospitality industry.
Sure.
And we're going to spend some time talking a little bit about AI as part of that discussion. So I'd like to begin with this first question, and I'll address it to you, Caroline. Okay. When you look at the technology that we are using in the hospitality industry today, what is one tool that you feel like you couldn't operate without? And what is one tool that you're paying for, but you don't know if you're getting the value that you would expect from that tool when it comes to technology?
Well, I'll start with so we just recently so I'm going to give a little backstory. We are currently we're affiliates of Hilton, because we are on track to become part of the Tapestry collection. And so with that, that in itself brings traction on the Hilton side, but we also have our vanity website, which has a lot more fluff. With Hilton, there's, guidelines, and it's kind of cut dry on the website. So with our vanity website, it took about 4 years of designing and everything to get the site really where I wanted it to be. And so this new thing came out that is like an AI shield, that you can actually put over your vanity website, and you should be able to track based off of certain things on the back end. Well, I basically had to completely redesign the vanity website to switch over to this platform. However, it's really cool the way that you can code it on that back end, specifically to our room types. So somehow the AI, how it integrates with Google, it's picking up these room types that somehow incorporates with AI, and it's driving more people to our website. So we've only been live for about 3 months, and we're seeing some improvement, but it's like, is it worth it? The time that it took, is it going to be worth it, over time? So I don't know if the money is good on that yet, is where I was getting at. We are seeing improvements, but was it really worth the change? And so that's something that we've been looking at. I think we all can agree that people use AI every day. And I'm actually I have a very strong opinion about utilizing ChatGPT or it doing your job. And I feel very strongly that I don't want it doing your job for you. And I'm going to call you out very quick. There's things that, we all know there's things that AI will generate where you can tell that it's AI, not someone writing it, right? Like the long dashes, or if it's create a social media caption, it's probably going to put some bullet points with some emojis. I think that we need to embrace AI, because we need to get on board, because that's where our generation is going. It's not going away.
Right. We've crossed that bridge already. There's really no going back. So we've got to figure out how to manage it, I guess.
Exactly. And so I think utilize it as a tool, but don't utilize it or don't have it be what you do for your job, essentially. And I actually attended the Georgia Society of Associate Executives conference last Wednesday through Friday, and I attended a session about AI, on AI. And I gained a lot of good insight on how you can utilize it in the workplace. And it was really cool data about the more information that you give AI, the better product it's going to produce for you. And so it was really cool. It was like just the amount of detail that you give it is what you're going to get out of it, essentially. And I do believe that that's the case. One other cool thing was, and I feel like I'm getting on a rant now because I think this stuff is really cool, but it can be utilized very heavily in our industry to target companies that might need to host a conference, or might host events or stuff like that. So a lot of cool stuff that I learned. But I would say something you couldn't do without would probably be AI these days. Because while it can be used incorrectly, it can be used correctly and make your job more efficient. So that's kind of, I guess, my answer to that question.
Well, it's kind of interesting. I thought you were kind of going to where the one platform was the answer to both questions. It was like, yeah, I'm not sure the value we're getting out of it, whether it's worth it, but also it may be something that becomes, essential to
Right.
my business. So it's kind of
Well,
funny.
there's so many different avenues of how AI is being utilized.
Yeah.
And so it's does it work or not? Well, it might in one spot, but it might not in another, you know?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Leandro, when you're talking to our partners, what are you finding that what's the greatest need in terms of technology in the industry right now, and how does AI play into that?
Absolutely. Thank you, Lon. I couldn't agree more with Caroline. I think I consider AI to be as big as electricity. I think AI is bigger than the internet, to be honest, and the impact it will bring to us. And we're just at the tip of the iceberg right now. And just like the internet in the beginning, we thought the internet was the end and not the way and not the middle point. And now we learned that the internet is a resource we have on our behalf, working and helping us to achieve our main goals. So I think that's pretty much how AI is gonna go, because we're right now, and the question Caroline said very well is like, how can I utilize it? So we're in the stage of how can I combine my work with this important resource rather than simply telling it to do my job, right? So I
Right.
think that we're crossing a discover moment, a transition moment where we're touching it and we're discovering how to potentialize and effectively use it
Mhm.
without stop doing our own job, as I said, I couldn't agree more. And it's contradictory because the travel industry and the hospitality industry, they were both industries. They were one of the very first ones to adopt technology. Book a you can book a hotel or you can buy a airline ticket. For 20 years ago, it started. We were in the very first industries adapting, and going through the technology for that purpose. At the same time, when you go into the realistic, the reality of those industries, you see so many systems that still don't talk to each other. And
Mhm.
we still depend on a lot of APIs and integrations. And those integrations, sometimes they break out and, it generates a bad customer experience. So as I was telling, it's contradictory because those, the hospitality travel industries were one of the very first ones to go through the technology. And we still, struggle sometimes in some of the parts, some of the business. So I think answering your question, there is adoption, there is intent, so there is interest on using, and we're kind of touching it and discovering how to best utilize in our, on our behalf or on our service at our service to make sure, we're more efficient and effective on what we do. So
No, I totally agree with that. I can see a big role that AI can play in terms of integration with different platforms and
yeah.
allowing them to communicate with each other.
And it's not easy because it requires a lot of adaptation. There are a lot of acronyms, in our industry, but it was like first was SEO, search engine optimization, and then they talked about a GEO, generative engine optimization, and now we're talking about AEO, agentic engine optimization. So all the backlinking, all the way the things were is optimizing your website to be found by the meta search.
Hmm.
Now it's a completely new story. You got to have your website telling a story about who you are and forget the meta, forget the backlinks. It's all about now being able to being found, being available for the AI to find your hotel, to find your website and bring it to the consumer. So a lot of adaptation and a lot of change ahead of us already in our day-to-day life and ahead of us as well.
Yeah, I it's a huge topic. We're not even be able to scratch the surface of all the different aspects
Totally.
and different, ways that AI is uh,
Yeah.
affecting the
Yeah.
industry. So, Tani, you've been patiently waiting. Also, I think you're on mute right now. So let me see if I can unmute you. Oh, there you go.
Hi.
Hi, Tani. In your experience so far, what have you seen in terms of technology and how it's being used in the industry? And maybe, talk a little bit about your perspective when it comes to AI.
Yeah, so AI has been very helpful in general. It's a great way to know what types of groups are looking for hotels, and I basically ask the AI who I could look for and who's looking for the hotels. It's also a great way for hotels to know what types of groups they want to get and what's in demand.
Well, I agree. And like Leandro was saying, maybe it was Caroline that was saying that, I mean, we've kind of come to the point where we've got to learn how to use and incorporate AI. And especially like RoomRight, I mean, we are a tech company. Okay. So we have to understand the technology and the emerging trends. And so it's very important that we understand and learn how to manage AI, which is, I think is the key, not just using it, but managing it so that it is useful. And in fact, that leads me to my next question, which is what decisions, and I'll go to you, Caroline, what decisions do you think will always require human judgment, regardless of how advanced AI becomes?
Um, well, I think, in our industry, we deal with clients. And while AI is smart and it doesn't have a human brain. So there's not emotions into it, right? So when you're having these conversations or, inviting clients on site to give them the tours, like that personal interaction, whether it's in person, whether it's email, AI just can't create the kind of conversations that we can as humans. And I think it will always be that way. I mean, it all goes back to AI is a robot, and I think one of the biggest things and the biggest way that you sell your product, your resort, your company is making those personal interactions and having those conversations, getting to know people, connecting with them, getting to find similarities between you and creating almost a friendship can help sell your property, but that's just something that AI it's not ever going to be capable of doing.
No, I totally agree. When you think about it, the hospitality industry is all about connecting
Yep.
with other people, connecting with new locations, new cultures,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's kind of a paradigm where you're looking at AI, which is not human and is as far away as you can get from having a human interaction. And yet we're in an industry where that is necessary. And it's all built around that, connecting with
Right.
other people. So I agree with your comment. What do you think, Tani? What do you think is something that AI will never be able to replicate that's going to always require human judgment?
Yeah, I agree with Caroline a lot about how AI cannot really take away the human connection because the hotels need to be able to talk to their buyers and have genuine conversations with them rather than sounding robotic.
No, I agree. So, do you think, my next question is, do you think we've reached a point where some hotels are over automating the guest experience and maybe taking away some of that human connection that, we crave and that we really need?
Yeah,
What
in
do you
some
think?
cases, like I heard at some hotels at their front desk, they have it more now where it's a computer screen to check in rather than the front desk agent.
Yeah, that would bother me. I know if I went to check
Yeah.
in and I had some special request and there's no one there to actually help me with that. What do you think, Caroline? Do you think that
Well,
there are some hotels that are doing that, getting that situation where maybe they're over automating, overthinking it?
Well, I do. And kind of going off of what Tawny said, uh, we are on the Hilton system, though we're not actually flagged as a Hilton yet. So that with that comes the digital key check-in. And so they essentially can go right to their room, and then we're missing out on being able to have that experience, which goes back to, I mean, they might have a good experience at the hotel, but if we had made that interaction, could it have gotten us another review? Could it have sparked, a conversation that wouldn't happen if someone is just going straight up to their room? And our property, we're very personable, and we're in the South. We're all about hospitality, and we genuinely are. And so there's missed opportunities when you're taking people out of the picture.
Wow, great answer. All right, so Leandro, I have a question for you, and then I'm going to come back to one final question for everyone to answer on the panel. But the question for you is, if you could eliminate one technology challenge that exists in the industry today, what would it be?
I'll go back to the integrations point. I think it hurts a lot. And if you look back, the number of channels that popped up as distribution channels for the hospitality, for the hotel industry, it became like a challenge for every hotelier to control inventory and rates and pictures and description in all of those channels. Of course, that also brought opportunity for other companies like channel managers and other companies that integrated that information in a single image view where you can populate your information throughout those channels. But we still depend on API. If a bridge is broken, then our final consumer will suffer and will get also wrong information and perhaps no information. So I think AI will definitely help us with that. And back to your point in an early, in one of the questions you made before. I think it's just like as internet. We at the beginning, we wanted everyone to move to the internet, and the companies were kind of forcing that. So it allows you to reduce cost and etc. And back to Tony's and Caroline's point on the check-in, the automated robotic check-in process. It's a paradox, because from one side, it allows you to reduce costs in some way, but from another point, it will create this bad experience for it. So I think as we evolved through the internet, we'll be evolved as well through the AI channel, the AI resource, meaning that it's optional. If you want to go with a machine, the machine will be there for you. But if you want to talk to someone, you can talk to someone. So as far as, as soon as we don't push it as a single way, a single path for everyone, we allow choice, we'll be good, So, and by the way, at RoomRight, we're doing that. In our search box, you can utilize Chemi, our AI agent, to help on your search. So it's all about utilizing AI to help us help our life, help being more efficient and helping, our day-to-day life, rather than creating a problem. As you said, there are a lot of hoteliers, spending a lot of time on something that will be not useful, and that line is very thin. So crossing the line is, it's dangerous, putting a lot of effort for something that will not help you. Rather, it will create a bad experience for your customer.
Yeah, that's a great observation. Great observation. Okay, so here's my final question. We'll go around and we'll start with you, Caroline.
Okay.
If we came back 1 year from now, and what AI trend or promise or kind of I guess trend is the best word. What AI trend do you think we will discover was mostly hype?
Trend as in
Like one thing that people are saying, oh, AI is going to be able to do all of this. And then we'll come back and go, yeah, never it really ended up doing that. Okay. It was used differently.
Well, I did. My mind went down a rabbit hole when Leandro was talking about the integration because that is such a big problem. And I mean, y'all know just as much as I do, integrations are costly, like super costly. And it's so I'm just wondering how in the world is AI going to somehow figure out how to integrate these systems that, formerly you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars and it's, a 2, 3, 4 month process for an integration to happen. Um, that would probably be my number one because if it figures that out, that's mind blowing.
Yeah,
So
totally.
No, I
And
agree.
that is definitely, I'm sorry, no, I'm jumping on Caroline's comments here, and that's definitely something AI will help us because it's a binary, there is no human. It's all about systems integration, coding, and this is definitely an area that AI will make a difference.
sure, yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree.
Tony, do you think there's something that we're kind of being told that AI is going to be able to do that maybe it's not going to be able to do as effectively as being promised right now?
So this is kind of like there's different sides to it, but I would say maybe like the artistic abilities of AI, because you could still kind of notice some flaws or replications of similar existing art for advertisements or things like that. But then it also saves money though for different companies, but at the same time, also just don't know if they'll ever be able to replicate a human's original art form.
No, I agree in many different types of art. In fact, the thing that I find interesting is that my kids, okay, so not my generation, but my kids' generation, they can spot AI much faster than I can. They can see something, oh, that's AI. That's fake. And I'm like, how do you know? And they go, you can't see that. Look at that. You can tell that that's AI. And I'm like, I don't know. And I think my parents' generation's even worse than me. I have my mother-in-law is always calling me, hey, did you see this? And I'm like, that's not true. That's not real. And I just find it interesting that your generation, Tawny, can spot it much faster than I could.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, kind of as a closing remarks, I just want to have everyone kind of give their closing comments, and you can kind of answer this question, which is if a hotel executive called you and said, "Hey, we only have budget for one new technology investment this year," okay, what would you tell them to invest in? Let's start with you. Let's go with Tawny first, and then we'll come around and let Caroline kind of be the ending comment.
Yeah, so if they had to invest in an AI or any technology, I would suggest investing in RoomRide, of course.
Obviously, that's a great answer.
We're incorporating an AI chatbot, which is also very helpful to answer questions for the hotels and for the buyers alike.
All right.
And it's a great way to boost your sales.
All right. Hey, I love it. I love it. All right. What about Leandro? What do you think? What's the one technology item that every company, every hotel you should invest in?
Anything related to customer experience, I would say, customer first, client first. So making sure they have access to anything they want on the touch of in the palm of their hands, and one finger away, from what they want and what the service can be. So I think making sure customer gets anything they want anytime, and making sure that works. Otherwise, making a request and not having the service will even be worse than not having that
And not
functionality,
even
right?
having
So,
the opportunity,
right,
right?
yeah. So
All right.
customer facing, customer experience investments. Always good.
Okay, great. Caroline?
I mean, I definitely agree with Leandro on his comment. And Tawny, I've already invested in Room Right, so I agree with you too. But yeah, I mean, it's all about the customer. And as we are, growing in technology, we also don't want to let go of that. The customer experience is the ultimate goal, right? In my particular situation, there's one thing. So like our offices are separate from like our main resort, and so like you have to be on the Hilton system over there. And so to get that to our office, it's very costly. So like if I had to give you a literal answer, that would be it. But in the broad scope of things, yeah, I mean, just making sure that our customers or guests are getting what they need and in a very timely fashion is very important.
All right. Great answers, everyone. And thanks again for joining us for this discussion of technology. And Caroline, especially thank you for being our guest panelist. And I am serious. I really want to come out to St. Simon's Island and play that golf course. So
we'll come anytime.
Thank you for sharing that information about that, the Sea Palms, a great property.
Absolutely.
And Tawny, thanks for joining us. And Leandro, before we go, I want you to just follow up and give another reminder about the special offers, the deals that we have going on at Room Right.
Absolutely, Lon. As you know, FIFA is around the corner. So this is the most important soccer championship, around the world. And USA is hosting together with Mexico and Canada this year. We got some very good discounted rates. And I would like to highlight the Washington Athletic Hotel in Seattle, where we have spectacular rates, differentiated. That hotel is sold out in some of those dates. And we got tickets as well for all the games happening in Seattle. And if you go to Room Right and see all the options there, the deals, you'll find package of hotel plus tickets at the FIFA Pavilion, a very special VIP seat, Category 1 FIFA Pavilion tickets, where you're gonna have a great experience watching your selection, your soccer team, preferred one, favorite one. So go to roomright.io and check all the deals, especially at the Washington Athletic Hotel in Seattle.
Oh, that is amazing. Yeah, these are deals you're not going to find anywhere else. So take advantage of it, people. Get on Room Right. And even if you don't go to the soccer games, you can take advantage of the great hotel deals in those cities while the games are going on, right?
Yeah, for the ones that already experienced the FIFA championship, the entire city gets, party, and there's FIFA fans, the fans areas they populate around the city. So the environment is really nice. So even you don't go to the game, you can enjoy that, nice sports kind of environment and enjoy Seattle as you wish, the whole month of June and July.
All right, awesome. Thanks again, everyone. And remember, join us every month for our Inside the Block segments, sponsored by Room Right Group Solutions. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.